everyone. Welcome to Anything But Routine, and I'm super excited about today's guest. She is Diane Brooks, and she is from Florida. She received her BS from the University of Central Florida in Exception Student Education and her MS from Nova Southeastern U in Educational Leadership. She's currently the director of dance at Hagerty High School in, I don't know how to pronounce this, Oviedo, Florida, where she is that right? Oviedo? Okay, where she
Yes,
also
Oviedo.
Oviedo, Fine Arts Director Chair. She's head of the Unleashed dance team. I like that name. Diane was born and raised in Fort Lauderdale area, where she was a competitive studio dancer. She began her dance teaching and coaching experience while attending the U of Central Florida Performing Arts. She's taught jazz, hip hop, acrobatics to company members and rec students, along with choreographing competition pieces. Her experience has led her to the opportunity to be the part of the opening staff for Hagerty High School. Hagerty High School and founding the dance program there. Hagerty Dance Program serves not only experienced and trained dancers, but also rec dancers. So over 130 students go through that and have the opportunity every day. Dancers within the program they do 3 full recital showcases each year and all student choreography for the showcase. So I'm going to kind of skip ahead. Diane received the 2012, and 2013 UDA Coach Leadership Award, as well as several Teacher of the Year nominations from various dance competitions. She was also the 23 National Dance Coaches Association High School Coach of the Year nominee. And for almost 8 years, Diane was a professor at the University of Central Florida in the dance minor program. The program's director specifically had musical theater kids, so it gave her an opportunity to strengthen the technique for the choreography roles that were requiring that technique. So many of those students now are working as professional actors and actresses in theme parks, on television, and Broadway shows. Wow, this is a long resume. You've done a lot. Diane's goal is to give all dancers the to strengthen their leadership and life skills through dance. One of her favorite quotes, and I'm a quote person, so I love this. One of her favorite quotes was from dance legend Joe Tremaine, who said, "Dance training is life training." And she uses this quote as the center of her teaching and coaching philosophy, using dance as the vehicle to prepare young adults for life after high school, which is what it's all about, right? I mean, gosh,
Right.
you're teaching dance, but you are teaching a lot more than dance. So let's get into just
Yeah.
chat here. So you're in Florida.
All right.
Did you get hit by that
We are.
hurricane? You did you get hit by the hurricane?
Yeah, two. And then it looks like there's another one out there
Oh,
sitting.
that's terrible. So yeah, we own a
I mean,
condo down there, so we got hit as well. So it's crazy.
mm,
So I'm sorry all your teams are going through that.
we actually got really lucky. We didn't lose power. We had a window that leaked a little bit, and that was it. So
Oh,
we got very lucky, and my parents who live here got very lucky. The kids in the area got very lucky. So
well, that's
there's
great.
still some like water that people are worried about, but it's all right.
Minor to what some people are going through, I bet. Yeah. So
Yes,
let's talk dance.
perspective.
So you coach high school. So
Okay.
this podcast hits both coaches and studio owners. So we can talk both sides with you because you've done a lot. Um, so with your high school dance team, Florida, do you have a state association, or are all the teams under your state of like sports? What are you governed by?
We are not governed by anyone.
No, so Florida's on their own. Okay.
We are on our own. There was years ago a group of women who did try to pull together, but I think that since it wasn't like the Florida High School Athletic Association doing it or anything like that, that it was just not really received
Yeah, it's
very well. And yeah, it just wasn't also, I mean, I commend them for trying to get
yeah.
it together. But I think there's also, because Florida is just so long
Yep.
that like there's like big concentration down in South Florida, where you've got like Miami and Fort Lauderdale. And then there's like the Orlando area, which is very heavy. And then it's like a little in Jacksonville, a little in Tampa,
Mhm.
you know. So I think we're just so big that it was hard to like corral everybody in and get
I
everybody on the
see
same
that.
page with stuff.
Yeah, I can see that. I did the Orange Bowl in Florida a couple of years down in Miami. And so you said you were
Yeah.
from
Uh-huh.
Lauderdale. That's cool. That was quite the experience. But I thought the dancers that came in were amazingly trained from down there. And they were all from like Coral Gables and some different areas. So that was neat.
Yeah. It's dance is very strong. And I mean, I think in Florida in general,
Mhm.
but in the bigger areas like the Miami, the Fort Lauderdale, the Orlando areas, I mean, it is just phenomenal the strength that comes out of
Well, that is
these
neat.
schools and these
So
programs and these studios in the area.
yeah, as a coach, what do you feel the strengths of your team? What styles do you do, and what are some of the strengths of your team?
Yeah, so for me in particular, my team is very technically sound. One of the things that I have really felt like I've managed to do is stay very consistent. So from day one, when I opened, we actually are celebrating our 20th year of being open as a school. I know it's crazy. I have stayed, my practice times have not changed.
Mhm.
My competition dates have for the most part stayed. And if I needed to change, as the second I knew, I made sure that all the areas, studios in the area knew. So they know that my kids are gonna that they want to do the program here at Hagerty. If they make varsity, that their practices are after school Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 5. So they know that okay, I can't get those kids. I can let me put their ballet class on Monday and Wednesday or whatever. They're really good at working
Okay.
around that because I have stayed very consistent. So my kids are very technically strong. We compete in jazz and lyrical and pom.
Oh,
And we're throwing in the spirit showdown, whatever we're calling it these days. That it's kind of becoming more popular. We're throwing that in the mix this year just to try something a little different and work on that since that's such a big like thing at the college level. I feel like I need to give them that experience at
like
our level.
like
Um,
game day.
like game day kind of.
Yeah, yeah. We don't have that in Minnesota, but obviously I watch college, so I see that. So yeah,
Yeah, so
that's neat that you're trying to
we're
prepare them. Yeah.
yeah. I also feel like I was also one of the first ones to be like, we are traditionally the kids in the programs in Seminole County, which is the district that we're in, um, were in the halftime show with the band. And here the marching band shows are very theatrical.
Oh, neat.
They're not very like stand and play and things happen around them. They're very like drum corps esque here. But it wasn't dancer friendly. It was like color guard
Uh-huh.
friendly, but not dancer friendly. And I was like, this is not helping my kids any. We're spending the first 4 months, 6 months of our season running around outside. So I was the first one to get them off and put them on the sideline since that's what the college levels or kids are doing. And they need to be able to have that experience. So my kids
So
now
you're
are in
basically
the
doing
kind
your
of the
own thing.
leader.
Yeah. You're basically
Yeah. I
doing
mean,
your own routines on the side rather than going with the band. That's smart.
yes.
I mean,
And that has helped my kids tremendously get into college programs because they have that experience.
oh, that's neat. That's good. So I think I love hearing that you're preparing them for the college programs because, boy, even in the last 10, maybe 15 years, even in the last five, college dance teams are just exploding, and teams that
Mhm.
weren't any good before are getting good. It's like, so
Yeah.
there's opportunities for kids to be on college dance teams. So as high school coaches, it's so important that you're doing that and preparing them. So Do you send your kids to combines and all that, or?
I definitely like pass the information along, but they have to want to do it themselves. They
Yep.
have to want to be there. Look how much work we know how much work it is at the high school level. And
Mhm.
at the college level, it's even more because they're expected to be at volleyball games and basketball games and this community, whatever, and the signing of this and the opening of that, and then also prepare for if they're a competitive team going to whatever national competition that they go to on top of it all, and not having a Christmas break
Right,
and
right. It's a
or
big
not
commitment.
going, being able to do spring break. It's a huge commitment. I pass the information along. If they need help putting a video together or whatever, I'm more than happy to help them. But they have to want to do it.
I
I
totally
can't force it.
agree. Yeah. I don't really do too much with my high school kids in terms of college, except trying to prepare them and, like you say, pass it on so they know that it's out there, and and try to make them good enough so they're going to make it.
Right.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Help them be good enough.
Being good team members.
So,
Like,
so I love that you've been National Dance Coach Association nominee. Do you go to the convention?
I went the year that I was nominated, and then last year I wasn't able to make it work date wise.
Yeah, it's hard.
And this year so far I'm okay, but my stepdaughter is an all-star cheerleader,
Oh, it's
and
from every
if
side.
she moves on to like the world's competition, I think it's that same weekend. So I have to kind of see how that all shakes out. But I would love to go again. That was probably the best like PD I've ever gotten. It was such
Yeah,
a
it
great
was.
experience. I think everybody needs to go.
I
It
do too.
was really great. I wish they would do some sort of like virtual
Yeah.
something where we could go back and watch, like pay to watch the workshops or something. I'd be happy to do that for sure.
We do a camp in Minnesota where we have coaches come in three different weeks of July, and we have some great speakers. And come on up sometime if you want. You could stay with me. It'd be fun. But
Okay.
people have wanted us to do virtual for that too. And I think maybe we got to do it. Maybe we got to save our videos and let them go virtual. However, we do put a lot of ours on anything but routine. So if people are wanting to learn, you can log into some of those and learn, because we post a lot of our past classes. But I agree, it's expensive to go. It's hard to leave your family, and it's neat to try. But the networking is,
Yeah.
if you can go once in a while to various things, whether it be that or whether it be our coaches conference or something in New York, I think getting out there keeps you in the game. It really does.
This episode is sponsored by the T Hive and Move You. At T Hive, we don't just provide custom designs, we personalize them to suit your needs. Whether you need tablecloths, banners, t-shirts, dye sublimation, sweatshirts, jackets, or warm-ups, we can create them for you. Your dancers will be thrilled with our latest dance designs, or we can bring your custom logo to life. Check us out at the T Hive and Move You.
How do you structure a typical practice, or what do you feel like? I love the fact that you said you're consistent and you haven't changed for years. What do you do? You guys go year round pretty much, right? Like in Minnesota, we have a season for dance.
No, yeah, we're year round. So yeah, so we'll do try for me, I do tryouts after my like end of the year show, so right at the end of the school year. And then really like come summer, I've learned to be very flexible in the summer because the kids, again, I respect their time with their studios because they're able to give them so much training that like we don't a lot of times don't have time for because we're getting ready for a pep rally or a this or a that or whatever it may be, that
Right.
I don't always have time to like, okay, we got to run our leaps across the floor.
Yeah.
Um,
I hear.
but so my summer, we keep it light. If you're in town, the expectation is that you're here doing conditioning and all of that. But so that happens over the summer. Then the week before we come back to school, my nationals choreographer, his name is Ryan Scrocky. He actually graduated from Hagerty, and I taught him when he was little. I taught him in boys hip hop class,
Isn't that
and
cool?
now he's living in New York. doing all the fabulous things in New York and dancing up there and things. And he's on a convention tour, Turn It Up. He judges and teaches on their convention. And so he comes down, and it's great because he has history. He came to school here. He was part of our graduating class here at Hagerty. So there's investment to make sure that things look great and represent well. And he knocks out our 2 nationals routines in a week. And then from there we start practicing as soon as the first day of school hits. We're here practicing, and then we'll go through. I do give them off about a month after. It's like about most of March and part of April. I give them off at least after school. Dance here is co-curricular, so they have a class period during the day and they get credit. And then if they've been on the team 3 and 4 years, they get honors level credit for that. They also get their PE credit waived as well. So there's incentive there.
So when you go on the school day, they get credit like it's their PE credit. I love it. I wish I had that.
PE and their fine arts credit. So they get both of those credits waived out the way.
That's neat because the kids get pulled in so many directions. And I think anything you could possibly do in the school day would be amazing. I wish we could do that. So
yes.
Yeah, that's neat.
So, I mean, that's basically we structure the best we can. A practice, actually, when I saw the kids today at the end of the day, before the school day ended, I said, all right, what's our goal for practice for tomorrow? Oh, well, we think we can get this amount cleaned. Okay, that's, I really tried to ask them, what do you think we can get to today? What's the goal? Let's set a goal for today. The big goal is that by the end of the week, we're done cleaning this routine, whatever it is. That's the big goal. So what's the little goal that we need to get to so that we can achieve that big goal? Again, a life skill, teaching through dance. And they understand. And so I try to be very open with them too. Like, guys, we have this week, we have next week, then we're on Thanksgiving break. Then we have 2 weeks. And at the end of that second week is our Christmas show and our first competition at the end of that week. So this is what still needs to happen. This is what I think cannot happen. They were at first reluctant, like, oh, I don't think we can make that happen. And then after practice yesterday, they were like, oh, we'll be able to achieve that. We can do that. So, I mean, I try to keep them involved, and the buy-in, I think that's huge. You got to get the kids to buy in, or else you're just trying to fight them. And I don't think that's not productive.
Buy-in is huge. And I feel like as a coach, when you can get that established, however, that's it. That's one of the number one things is getting that buy-in from kids so that they feel like they're helping making the decisions. And when you were sitting there saying, oh, I try to go, what is the goal for today? Smart. That's really smart, because that's what you need to do. Make them part of the, help to get that done, because then if they think they're driving that train, they're going to go a lot farther than if they think you're pulling everything. So keep going. I interrupt.
And I
love that.
No, yeah. I mean, even today they had a little moment where like you felt the room shift a little bit. And I said, guys, this is teamwork. We can't achieve our goals if, we're not working together. And if there's something that I think that needs to be a certain count, but you're doing it and it doesn't feel right, then you just need to say, Coach G, that doesn't feel right. Can we change it to this? Okay, let's try it. Like, it goes both ways. Now I said, there's going to be things that I am going to I'm going to make the decision on, and that's what it's going to be. Right. But if it's a decision about a count or something, you're the ones that have to do it, not me. So okay, let's figure it out and make it work. And then they got it, and it's like, okay, then it shifted back into being productive. But I really have found, and that was something when I was younger, I felt like I needed to control everything. And then I don't know if it was just as I got older, I realized and experience, you start to realize that they need to have the bulk of the control so that they can be successful, and the buy-in and the ownership
Mhm.
of the routine year and the goals and the achievement. They have ownership over that. I'm just steering the ship, but they're the ones that got to make it happen.
Oh, you're so right. You are so right. That's a lot of it. When you're talking about control, I think all new coaches try to control everything. And first of all, if you do that, you're
Yeah.
going to burn out. It's not even like in business, like running this business, I can't control everything or I'm going to burn out. I would, you have to give away your power
Yeah.
and then you're going to get more power because they're going to be with you, pulling with you. So
Right.
that's probably one of, I
Yep.
try to, what do you attribute all your success to? That has to be one of the things is getting the kids to have the buy-in and be on board. What else you're strong technically, you were saying that you pull kids from strong studios so they have that background and you bring in great choreographers who have a buy-in to your program. So I'm just trying to go, what are tips for success for other new coaches who are listening, other than those are a lot. Anything else that we haven't covered?
I think I was, because this was one of the questions that you had put in there, and I was thinking about it. And I think as a new coach, one of the big mistakes I made was trusting parents too much. Um, because some of them are great and they will do anything that you need them to do. They're super supportive and all of that, but it only takes one that will say that they're super supportive and do help you, whatever. But the moment you make a decision that they don't like, they
Mhm,
are the first ones that will be up in the principal's office or
mhm.
or in your assistant principal's office or whoever your direct thing is that will start complaining about you and making things up or twisting what was said or done. So if I was to tell my younger self something, I would have gone to other coaches or gone to my administration a little bit more, um, and not have and been a more guarded with parents, because they ate me alive when I was younger. I mean, I started, well, I'm 46, so I was 26 when I started this program. I was young and some of them saw me and just preyed right on me.
They do.
And that was really difficult. It was really difficult. Um, and made me really tough and made me a little like, for a while there I was pretty jaded and guarded and things because I had been hurt so many times and so badly. um so that's one of the things I would really like. We have a new cheer coach. Our cheer program is very strong here. We have a new cheer coach and she's young. She's 27, 28. And I was one of the things I was like, do not trust these parents because they will be nice, but the moment you make a decision that they don't like, they will start stirring that pot and
Yep.
putting things in little people's ears, and then that gets going, and then now not only are you fighting the kids, but now you're fighting parents too, and that will tear somebody down.
I like the fact that going through those things in your early years, you do kind of grow a shield of armor or learn that you can be tough. And so many coaches quit before they get through that
Yep.
point. So I'm glad that you're taking that cheer coach under your wing, you know,
Yeah,
helping.
and the other thing that really for me too was, um at that time when the first group of parents that we had kind of were wrapping up and finishing up and things, I went back to school and got my master's degree in educational leadership, and having that like leadership knowledge, just keeping, like we were talking before, educating yourself,
Mhm.
uh really helped with my self-esteem and my like, whatever, of like my gut instincts, of like it just strengthened all of that to where like I knew I had experience, I had education, I had taken classes, and I had this like degree now that also then was respected by parents.
Yeah, maybe it gave you more credibility and
Right.
whatnot.
So that was really helpful too for me, was just continuing to grow myself not only as a dance teacher, but as a leader as well. And getting kind of some leadership experience outside of the dance team. Like our principal at the time gave me a lot of, gave me some opportunities to kind of grow in my leadership skills. And that really helped me in my leadership of the team.
Oh, great. That is awesome. So
What's it like having like a state organization? Can I ask you that?
sure. Well, I started it in Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you started coaching at 26, Diane. I started coaching at 17. I was so young, like I remember going to practice and the principal had asked me for my pass, like my hall pass. And I'm like, I'm the coach, kind of, but so I learned everything the hard way too with parents and all that type of thing. But state association. So we started ours, I hate to even say when, because I was so dang young, but it was 1981. We were one of the first states to do it. I also helped Wisconsin and North Dakota get going on their state associations. So all like our area, Iowa has a strong one. So our Midwest area, Kansas has a strong one. So does Missouri. But in Minnesota specifically, we are we started our own where it was just dance coaches. And then in about 1995, it's called the Minnesota State High School League. They took us under their umbrella. And it was kind of either we go in peacefully or we're going to have a hostile takeover because they wanted us at that point. And I feel it's because we've never been like our state competition, which I'm really proud of, has never been under an organization such as Just for Kicks or UDA or NCA or anything. We have been a standalone Minnesota State dance team competition. And it was run originally by coaches that banded together. And we had our first meeting with 12 coaches. And, that was early. And then we formed that association. And then we never were under anyone else. So our state competition is not affiliated with anything else. And, Minnesota teams are really strong. And I feel one of the reasons is because of our strong state competition. And I also feel Just for Kicks does so much with summer camps and stuff. So I'm tooting my own horn here, but I do feel like that history of us being, when we supported our teams. And when I first started coaching, imagine there was no email and no internet. Like you did not even know when a competition was going to happen. You got a letter in the mail and it's like, I guess next week or next month, we're going to compete, and season was all year round then. Where now there's things I like about it and things I dislike about it. I mean, we are very governed, like what we can do. We can't do tryouts anymore after this year. So we have to be like basketball, football, whatever, have all comers. And then doesn't mean they can all dance, but you have to take them onto your team. So you can meet with parents, for instance, like say you had, I know your eyeballs are bugging out there, but say you had, most kids are not going to go out for your team if they don't feel they can be successful there, I feel. Now, I know there's some teams right now that I'm aware of that have to, like, they can't turn any kids away. Their district won't let them. So then they have like a JV and a B squad, or maybe even a, B squad blue or whatever, like several squads. It is giving the opportunity for a lot more kids. You still can have your varsity elite squad. So it's just different. It requires way more coaching. Like right now, my team has 5.
Yeah.
We have 5 coaches and we have a 6th coach coming in to help us here and there. And so that gets hard. Our season right now goes from October, like the Monday after October, like after MEA. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like the fall thing. And then it goes till pretty much Valentine's Day. But then we can train our kids in June and July, but that's our only off season. But then they can take off season training at a local studio, or they can have a fall team. So there's like 2 teams. The fall team would perform at football and that type of thing. And, so it's just different. At first I hated it, but now I kind of love how it is. It's given us so much credibility. Like we are on the sports page now. in all our papers, and we're on the news for sports, and we're getting credibility. So I love that.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt that U of M was like national champions, and so that's helping too. But yeah,
we've talked about like the pros and the cons, like with some of the people in my district. I don't know if you're familiar with Seminole High School, the Dazzlers,
sure
are
am.
a kick
Yeah.
team.
They're in your district.
They're in my district. Yeah, so they're fantastic. Maureen and her daughter are just fabulous people, and they're only maybe 20 minutes from us.
Oh wow.
And for context, my school is 1.2 miles north of UCF's campus.
Okay.
So we're right here, and then they're only
Are
maybe
you
20 minutes.
Are you in Orlando area? Because I thought Seminole
We
was.
are. We're just so Orange County is where the city of Orlando is. We're in the county right north of them,
Okay.
of Orange County, but Seminole County, where we are, literally is a mile away, is where Orange County is. So we're right here.
I should come watch a practice.
So
because I have my kids down there. If I'm ever down there, it'd be fun. So
we and we've talked about like what would be pros and what would be cons of being like under like FHSAA, like under athletics. And it's like the credibility, like you're saying, that would be great, because a lot of times we don't get the recognition that our kids deserve. But then none of us want like the the rules of not having to start, like when to start and what you can do and who you can take. None of us want any of that.
That's the negative for sure. There's great things that, our state association is still, with our coaches, is still viable. And now we are a part of that's our, our dance one. But now our dance coaches are part of all the coaches. We got welcomed into that, which was huge. And we get a liability insurance.
Yeah.
$1 million liability insurance as a coach is huge. So I love that. But there definitely are cons. But if you ever want to explore it, I have, I could help you with the bylaws and all that, because it is different. So we went in trying to know what we wanted and go there. So, well, I'm trying to think what else we could hit. We've hit so many things. And
you have studios on the West Coast.
No,
don't you have studios on the West Coast? Am I right?
We have a couple Just for Kicks studios. We have one in Washington and one in Idaho, but the rest are mostly Midwest. We have one in Colorado.
So, West Coast of Florida.
West Coast. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like the West Coast. We don't have any in Florida currently. Our director that was there moved, and we just kind of lost it. And we had a couple good, strong ones, but we had one in Largo. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Currently we're not in Florida, but we do private camps and stuff like that, but we don't have any studios. So, well, Diane, thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. And I still love your quote so much that dance training is life training, because it sure is. Even as a coach.
So true.
As a coach are definitely life training. So thank you for being on our podcast, and I hope our paths will cross again. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Whenever you're in town, you just let me know.
I should look you up. All right.
Absolutely. Let me know when you're in here, and we'll get you in. Maybe it would be great for you if you were here like a weekend that we had like a competition or something. You could kind of see what
that'd be fun. I'm still so
Florida's got.
I'd love to. So be great. I'm too involved with my own team, but if I ever retire here, that's probably coming soon. Who knows? All right. Well, you take care. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking
You're welcome.
Good luck this year with your team.
No problem. Thank you. You too.